Hello, everyone. Hi, this is Stacy Ellis here. I have decided to go live. I've never done a live video here. I've done it on Instagram, but not on YouTube. I know most people probably are at work, but I wanted to try it out and see how it is. But I am here to give you guys an update, a life update, answer any questions that you may have. If you have any questions for me, um, what is life like after grad school? Um, and answer any questions you may have if you are going to grad school, plan on going to grad school, and then what is it like post grad school? So I graduated technically in August, but I walked in December this month. And during my time, this last, I don't know, is it 6 months? August to December? I guess it's not, but the last few months, I had to do a lot of thinking for myself. And I've gone through a lot of emotions. I've been having to contemplate a lot of things that I didn't know that I would ever have to contemplate and have to think about after I have finished my dissertation and became an official PhD doctor. Um, and so I want to talk a little bit about that and what my plans are for the future. So I defended my dissertation in, I believe, June of 2023, and my degree was conferred in August. And I remember when I passed my exam, I had defended my dissertation, and I went in there and they said, "Congratulations, Dr. Ellis." I remember thinking to myself, okay, I'm called Dr. Ellis now. I don't know how to think about that. Like, it really, it it wasn't the thought that I thought I would have. Like, I thought I would be like super happy and excited, but instead I instead was left with conflicting thoughts. Like, that's weird to be called that. Like, I'm Mrs. Ellis. I am married to my husband, and now I'm called Dr. Ellis. What does it mean to have this title, doctor? And so I've been kind of wrestling with that a little these last few months, um, having that title. So my family, of course, is very happy for me. They know how hard I've worked to get to this point. And like, every time I talk to my dad on the phone, he says, "May I speak to Dr. Ellis?" He's very happy. My husband, when he introduced me to the coaching staff, he said, "Introducing Dr. Ellis." So a lot of people were very proud of me and happy for me. But I find that not everyone shares in that happiness. Not everyone cares. And that makes sense, because why would I care about everyone else, right? If they are called doctor or not. But I have experienced people giving me certain looks or reacting to me a certain way after they found out that I have my PhD. And that is an adjustment for sure. And so if you're someone working on their PhD, be prepared. You may or may not experience people reacting to you a certain way. I do feel that because I am a woman and because I'm a minority and because the way I look, the way I come across, I feel that I may not, I don't look like someone that is a doctor. I know it. I don't look like a doctor, you know. So if someone were to introduce me, it might be a shock to hear that I am a doctor. Um, And so I have experienced that. I've had, conversations. I'm still, if you know me, I am a very happy person. I'm very laid back. I have kind of like a childlike attitude, so to speak. I'm not immature, but I like to have fun. I like to be laid back and not so rigid, right? And if you think of like professors or like medical doctors, a lot of times they're very, in their work and very rigid. And there's a certain type of personality that's normally correlated with the title doctor. And I don't have that. I don't have that personality, and I don't have that appearance. Typically they tend to be white men or even white women, right? And I know that there are minorities that are doctors. I'm not saying that there aren't. There's definitely a lot of minorities that are doctors, but it's still not very common in at least where I live. I live in Texas, the Dallas area. A lot of the minorities that do have a doctorate, it's not a PhD. Normally, it's like education leadership, or it's something like, I don't know, it's something other than a PhD. You know, there's a lot. I say education leadership because I think that's probably the most common. There's a lot of education leadership doctorates. They become principals and APs, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying PhD. PhD is definitely a different type of degree than education leadership because of the research aspect and things like that. So I've experienced, like, you see me and you see how I act, and then they hear the title doctor, and I literally, women literally would make a face at me. The guys, they don't. The guys, they typically are more happy, but a lot of times there are women who are kind of hesitant, like, oh, like literally they make a face of disgust, and that's been a little hard. And so I had to kind of, not necessarily struggle, but I had to come to terms with the fact that not everyone's going to be happy about me being a doctor, and that it's not for them. Like, I know that, like, if they really want to be a doctor, they could go through all the heartache that I went through and become one themselves. And so maybe there's a little jealousy there. Or maybe it's not that, I don't know. But I do feel that it has, um, I was not expecting those facial expressions. Now, I've talked to some of my friends that also have gotten their PhD. They're also women, and not many of them have not experienced the same things that I have. So I do think that the environment that you're in makes a big difference. If you're going into a field where you're around other people who have a high degree, if you are doing a postdoc, or if you're working in education in the college level or something like that, you may not experience that. Um, but for me, I decided to take time off. I've been in school for a long time. My grad program. So just to give you a background, if this is your first time here, hi. I had a degree, a bachelor's degree, and that took me 5 years to get my bachelor's degree because I had student teaching and all that. Then I became a teacher, and I taught for 3 years, and then I went back to school, and I got a second bachelor's degree. So I had 2 years for that. And then for my master's degree, I was in school for 5 years. And then for my PhD, I was in for school for 6. So I've been in school a long time, and I continued, like, summer, once I got to the research phase, literally nonstop, even during my winter break, summer break, spring breaks, I was doing work. And so I wanted to take time off instead of going straight into working. So that's what I've been doing. And so I haven't I officially finished in August. So I do a few things here and there, but I didn't go straight into academia or a job or anything like that. So because of that, I am around people who don't have their PhD. Most of the people that I come in contact with don't have their PhD, as opposed to other people who went on to work, they're around other PhDs. And so my experience has been both. Some people are very happy for me. If you are, you know, um, close with me as a friend, or if you are close with my husband as a friend, you probably are happy for me because you know how long it's been. But if you just got to know me, it seems those are the people that are kind of like, you know. Um, so I had to learn to deal with that, and I am still learning to deal with that. I am trying to identify, do I introduce myself as Stacy or Dr. Ellis? Like how far, people treat you different when they hear that you are a doctor. And I'm pretty laid back. I don't want people to feel as though I'm judging them or that I feel that I'm better than them or anything like that. I definitely don't feel that way. But I do feel that I can sense that. And then I can also sense that not everyone cares that I went through this journey. And it's fine. Like it's not for them. My PhD journey was my journey, but there is almost kind of like a sense of disrespect, um, or a lack of understanding. Um, I think some people think that I was doing it to be better than everyone else, which in part for my field, the nutrition field, they're requiring dietitians to have their master's degree. And so I did feel that it was necessary for me to get my PhD to make me more competitive because I'll be honest, I'm a minority. And so that is something that I did consider. I also did it for my grandparents and my parents. My grandmother, Leela, she wanted to go to school. She wanted to do great things, but she passed away before I was even born. And so I did do this in part for her. So I did, this degree was not just for me, this degree was for my family. And so I know that having it now, there's like a responsibility that I hold. So I understand that. I do understand that. But with that being said, I'm still trying to navigate what does it mean to be called a PhD. I love my name Stacy. I love my name Mrs. Ellis, and so there is part of me that's like, you know, um, so I'm still wrestling with that, and maybe once I get into my actual field, which hopefully at the start of the year I will, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. Um, Hopefully I will feel a little bit more better about the title. It's not that I don't like the title, it's just it's a little weird and I don't like people feeling like I feel like I'm being judged before people get to know me. So, yeah. But it's all good. I'm glad that I'm done. It was a long journey. I know I did it for good reason. Now, I know looking back, like, so I am a Christian. And I see some characteristics that God instilled in me that I feel like if I didn't go through this PhD journey, I wouldn't have ever learned about myself. And, I'm now, so I grew up very shy. I'm a lot more outspoken now. I will stand up and say things and ask for what I need. And I'll be a little bit more outspoken. And I know this PhD journey kind of forced that out of me because I kind of had to do that while I was in this process with my research. So I do know that God brought me here for a reason. And I don't really know exactly everything what's in place, but I do know when I look back, I see that God has ordered my steps to bring me where I am. So that leads me to what is it that I am hoping to do. I've been asked this over and over again, and I will be honest, I do try to guard myself because when you have a PhD, there's expectations now. Like, oh, you have a PhD, you got to go use it. You need to do this, you need to do that. And so I've had a lot of people kind of tell me, like, do this, apply here, do this, do that, and that was another reason why I wanted to take a break, because I did not want to just do something just because I had to, because, oh, I have a PhD, or because, my advisor had helped me, so I need to pay him back by doing such and such. Or, I wanted to make sure I separated myself enough so that way I have clear direction and I'm going the way that I know I'm supposed to go. So that's what I did. I knew that God brought me here for a reason, and I knew that I need to move into a certain direction. And so, with that, I am actually going to have my own private practice. So I already do have a private practice somewhat on the side, but I did not officially launch it. I don't accept insurance. I'm not advertising. I'm not doing anything, but I plan on having a full-blown private practice. And I hope to grow it to a point where I can hire other dietitians under me, and that we'll be able to make a big impact in the Metroplex, and even worldwide even. So that is my plan. Um, I do have hesitations, as always with everything that I do. There's always slight hesitations. The thing that I'm hesitant about starting off is that I'll be by myself. I will be the only one working at the start of my private practice, which I love being around people. So that's something that I'm going to have to navigate through, because I don't want to be lonely. And, I have my clients, I'll talk to my clients, and that'll be great, and all of that. But I will want to be able to communicate and have relationships with other colleagues. So I will be, I'm considering working part-time at some other locations, so that way I can be among other people, at least until I can build my business to a point where I can have other dietitians under me. So that is what I'm looking to do. I also hope that I'll be able to continue to do like my speaking engagements, different educational types of things. So I love doing speaking engagements. I'm thinking about doing cooking classes, and possibly I might teach on the college level as well. But if I do that starting off, it will probably just be adjunct, because I do feel that God brought me to do actual dietetic work, at least right now. I don't know, again, why I became a PhD. So God may have in store for me to actually do other things where I'll use my degree more. And so once he makes that clear to me, then I will do so. So as of right now, I am not looking into doing a full-time faculty job anywhere. I am not looking into doing any research anywhere. And I'm not looking into doing a postdoc anywhere. I think God has made it very clear to me that I need to go ahead and start seeing patients. And maybe, he might tell me to switch, after a few months. At that point, I'll make the switch. But I do feel that that is what I'm supposed to do. And so with that, I will be having plans in place for making 2 new YouTube channels. One will be based off of my private practice that my patients can utilize to learn things about nutrition. There's so many things that I tend to repeat when I meet with my clients. And so I hope to have a YouTube channel where I can just refer to different videos so they can watch those videos instead. So I don't have to repeat myself over and over again. And then another nutrition channel that'll be a little bit more fun, where I can do cooking or reaction videos or things like that. So that those will be separate from this channel. So this channel is going to be just like how it's been. My basic nutrition, not nutrition, my basic life, things that I just enjoy, talking about the Bible, doing book reviews, things like that. That's what I plan on doing. Sorry, there was something that just stopped in front of my house. So who's this person? I wasn't expecting anyone, but I think they had just stopped for a second. So yeah, so that's what I'm planning for now. I do want to write some books. I have a few books in mind, some ebooks, some cookbooks, things like that. So I have a lot that I have planned. I do, and I'm ready and willing and able, for whatever God has in store for me. And I know that this degree is going to be used for something. So yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys an update. And I decided to use the live just because I thought it would be kind of fun in case somebody got on. But I know everyone's at work. It's in the middle of the day, but I wanted to try it because I haven't tried it yet. So, all right. So stay tuned. I will let you know once I get my other 2 YouTube channels up and going in case you want to subscribe to those. And I will probably give you guys an update on my books and all that here soon. I know I have not done a few book reviews. I have been reading. I just been telling myself that, it's okay to relax. And so I didn't force it. Like, I'm not going to just force putting videos out during this time. So I've been, like I said, I've just been relaxing the last few months, making it kind of like a summer break, so to speak, for myself. And then starting January, I'm definitely going to get back on it. Okay. All right, you guys. So I hope that answers some of your questions about what's like after. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.